Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? We're about to do the recap and breakdown of UFC 308, Ilia Topuria versus Max Blessed Holloway. That just happened on Saturday the 26th, 2024. It was an early card that happened at 10 a.m. It just ended now at 5 o'clock. We're going to get right into it. It was a... we just got to move this stuff over. It was a somewhat depressing card, but, you know, we got to do the recap and breakdown anyway. Let's just get right into it. First fight on the prelims, we had Reena versus Carlos Leal. Absolute robbery. Robbery. Reena Fakardinov did not win this fight. Reena Fakardinov got fucked up. Probably, I don't even know. You could give all three to Leal if you really want. Carlos Leal won this fight. 29-28 in my opinion, comfortably, but in no way should Reena Fakardinov have won this fight. He was given a unanimous decision by all three judges, 29-28, 29-28, 30-27. Giving 30-27 is absolutely fucking laughable. Oh, we just lost the Tapology. We'll bring it back up on screen here. It's absolutely fucking laughable that he even got... even one judge gave him the win, first of all. For all three judges to give him the win, there's clearly some collusion inside the UAE. Clearly, they want certain fighters winning, because Reena Fakardinov did not win that fight. Carlos Leal needs to get his win bonus. He deserved it. He came out, looked like an absolute beast. He was a 3-1 underdog. Not rightfully so. I mean, I haven't watched a lot of his fights, but came out very calculated. That first round was very, very sick. I actually couldn't believe what I was watching. He looked like he was overtaking Reena Fakardinov super easily. He looked like he was just going to outpace him the whole fight, and I believe that's what he did. Like rounds 1 and 3, I think is where it's here. Let's see. We're gonna just check. I believe Reena Fak. But, like, Carlos Leal, very good boxing, very slick, very powerful. Reena Fakardinov was having a lot of problems. Looked like he was gassing out very early on in the fight. Didn't seem like Reena had an answer for him near the end. It was 29-28, 29-28, 30-27. But I want to see where the judges have it. There we go. So they gave rounds 1 and 3 to Fakardinov. So, in no way, in no one's book, should Fakardinov have won round 2. No way. He lost that round. End of the fight looked like he was losing. I thought he lost. Rounds 2 and 3, sorry. That's what we were looking for. We were trying to look for the pinpoint. Absolutely pathetic. It was a fucking laughable decision. Reena Fakardinov definitely lost his win streak there. Does not need, like... is not on a win streak anymore. Nicholas Dalby loss was even fucking sketch. I believe Reena Fakardinov's not as good as he actually says he is, and as he performs, and his record definitely doesn't show up how good he is. I thought Reena Fakardinov was going to be able to start Carlos Leal. I thought he didn't even have a position inside the UFC. I thought Carlos Leal shouldn't even have been there. I thought it was a bad fight for him. I thought it was going to be a good tune-up fight for Reena Fakardinov. I was wrong, and Carlos Leal should have won that fight. We're going to move on next on the prelims. I have to lie about that, but I'm really pissed off that he got robbed. Even though I won money on it, I'm still pissed. Next on the prelims, we had Ismael Nurdayev versus Bruno Silva. I had Bruno Silva by knockout. I thought he was going to be able to piece up Ismael Nurdayev, who's making his second stint inside the UFC, coming over from Brave CF. I just thought he was going to be able to knock him out. It seemed like Bruno Silva in his past fights, very good hands, a lot of first round finishes. The guy uses Muay Thai really well, really good knees, really good left hooks, and uses all of his weapons to mix up and enter in and to get the knockout. And he didn't do any of it against Ismael Nurdayev. He did nothing. He got taken down inside the first round. Looked like he wilted away inside the first round and just gave up. Nurdayev won the first round. Silva just gave up the other two. Like in the third round, looked like he was frustrated, but he wasn't even throwing anything. He looked completely gassed. Looked like the first round's all he had, and he was arguing with his coaches in the corner, and after the fight, arguing with his coaches. That's not what you're like. Do not argue with your coaches. First of all, you are the fighter. You are the guy in there. It doesn't matter what your coaches are telling you. You need to put the pressure on. You need to not go for takedowns. They're literally screaming at him not to go for takedowns. Nurdayev is way of a better wrestler than fucking Bruno Silva. Bruno Silva obviously needs to be in the striking department in order to win this fight. And he's trying to shoot takedowns on Nurdayev, who's fucking just walking at him. Like, as if you're going to get that takedown. That's not going to happen. Absolute pitiful performance by Bruno Silva. Probably going to get kicked out of the UFC at this point. Lost like 7 out of his last 8, right? No, 6 out of his last 8. Still, I think he's out of the UFC at this point. 4 in a row. Lost to Chris Weidman, and now Ismael Nurdayev. Yeah, we're done with that. We're going to move next on the prelims. Farad Basharat versus Victor Hugo. Farad Basharat coming in with a little bit of steam, seeing as Victor Hugo weighed in 145 pounds, seeing this is not a featherweight fight. This was supposed to be a bantamweight bout. And Victor Hugo showed no respect whatsoever, didn't say sorry to Farad Basharat, didn't show any respect. And Farad Basharat came in with heat. He landed a lot of good strikes, had Victor Hugo really hurt. Victor Hugo using his size advantage, landing really good strikes. But in Victor Hugo landing the bigger strikes and the more powerful blows, Farad Basharat was just a sniper tonight. He looked incredible. He looked like he was landing everything that he was trying to set up. Good right hands on the chin every single time Victor stepped in. Step back right hand. It was really nice. The knees. I had Victor Hugo hurt like a couple times, had him taken down. Had Victor Hugo inside the third round questioning his fucking life decisions and winning the bout comfortably. Farad Basharat, again, the Basharat brothers are Yavid, I believe, and Farid are the two brothers. Both of them are insane. They're insane inside the UFC. I'm really excited to keep watching them fight. This is supposed to be a 135 bout. He took on a guy who was 10 pounds heavier than him, who obviously was going to weigh at least 15 pounds more due to the fact that he didn't have to go through a weight cut, it seemed like, and he still beat him. He beat the fuck out of Victor Hugo, even though Hugo was landing huge shots. Basharat was hurt at one point inside that second round, and he still came back and got through. Very impressive for Basharat, moving on to 13-0. And shows his dominance in the fact that he has all sides of MMA at his disposal. He's very, very impressive. Next on the prelims, we have Kennedy Nzechukwu versus Chris Barnett. Now, Beast Boy, when they were calling out his name, jumped up in the air, and his fat ass fucking snapped his leg, basically. I believe he pulled a hamstring whenever he jumped up in the air. I say fat. Of course, I love Chris. Beast Boy is literally one of my favorite fighters. I can say fat ass because we got it too. No worries, brother. Also, he literally misses weight at heavyweight all the time. So, I'm allowed to say it. Chris Barnett, fucked up his hamstring. You could see it. Was moving a little tenderly early in the fight. Used a spinning back kick, or a spinning heel kick, excuse me. Or spinning wheel kick, I guess that's what it's called. And you could see he pulled it. You could see he was limping. He was making facial, he was making faces, excuse me, not facial, Jesus Christ. And he just looked like he was about to give up. That's what happened. Kennedy landed a good shot, and he started to cover up, tried to swing back. You could see it was hurting him. Super good fucking shot to the liver, put him down, and Beast Boy had to be helped out of the octagon and helped back into the back. Clearly pulled a hamstring. We thought it was the knee at first, was really worried for him, but Kennedy Nzechukwu gets it done with his first heavyweight bout. At 241, man, he looked really quick. Looked a lot quicker than I thought he was going to be. I thought at heavyweight he was going to have a big problem, especially even fighting Chris Barnett. You're fighting a natural heavyweight who's going to be striking like a motherfucker. Chris Barnett, even being the shorter guy, is going to have to move in, right? He's going to have to get close. Kennedy Nzechukwu losing to OSP is pretty bad, like getting dropped and hurt. It wasn't a good look, and I didn't feel like I was confident enough in picking a Kennedy Nzechukwu who's moving up to heavyweight, especially this young in his career. Next on the prelims, we had Abus Magomedov versus Bruno Ferreira. Bruno Ferreira takes probably round 2, beats the fuck out of Abus in round 2. Abus putting on the pressure inside the first round, looking really nice. Obviously starting to fade a little bit inside the later rounds, but gets Bruno Ferreira to the ground and submits him with an arm triangle choke. It steps over to the side. Bruno Ferreira cannot defend it. Doesn't know the defense about bringing his leg up and locking his hands. Gets tapped. And it was a good fight up until that point. Really good boxing from either guy. Abus Magomedov showing that he's a little bit more composed, showing that his strength and conditioning program that he's doing now that has changed is a lot better. Looked a lot better inside the later stages of the fight, showing a lot of improvement, using those teeps a lot more. Not just blitzing in on guys when he has them hurt, and when he does have them hurt, taking a more calculated approach, which he did. Very impressive. Bruno Ferreira, of course, tried to take him out inside the first round, but was able to use his cardio to try and make it into the later stages of the fight. Just unfortunately got caught inside of a bad position on the ground and got choked out. Bruno Ferreira is still a big force at 185, but I think Abus Magomedov's a little bit more calculated now. He looks a little bit better. Warley Alves win meant nothing to me, but definitely looked a lot more calculated. Definitely looked like he's improving on his cardio, and I'm impressed to see and Abus Magomedov, who looked better today, man. He looked a lot better than the Caio Borralho fight. Looked like he didn't gas out right away. Looked like he was ready for maybe another round. And it was really impressive. We're going to move on next on the prelims. Mateusz Rebecki versus Medeiros Orobai. Orobai gets his eyes swollen up inside that first round. Can barely see anything. Doctor comes up to him, says, how many fingers am I only up? 2. So he can barely see enough to fight. Gets on to the second round and opens up Rebeca. Returns the favor, just fucking chops up that right eye. Now both of their right eyes are chewed up. Get to a third round where Rebeca lands really good shots and just wins the later stages of the round to win the fight. It was round 1, Rebeca, round 2, Otobai, round 3, Rebeca. I thought arguably Otobai could have won round 1, even though his eye was swollen up. There was some big shots landed by Otobai. Even round 3, he was landing really, it was really close. Both guys were pissing blood. The damage was really close inside that third round. Again, good win for Medeiros Rebeca. I'm not taking it away from him. Close fight. Don't think it was a robbery. Medeiros Otobai looked really impressive, dude. It's just unfortunately got his eyes swollen up and looked like he couldn't see as well, man. He was just getting hit with shots that looked like they had no business hitting him. Normally in fights he would slip those shots, and unfortunately he can't see the left side anymore. So it's a big problem. Or the right side, but the left side of Rebeca. You know, his left hand's a really big power shot for him too, and Otobai kept circling into it too, which is really bad. I don't know why he kept doing that. His corner was trying to yell at him to turn the other way. He had fucking 8 inches of reach on Rebeca, and he could have just out-jabbed him, but instead he wanted to get close. He wanted to turn to the power side of Rebeca, and Rebeca gave him exactly what he was asking for at that point. We're going to move next on the prelims. We had Jeff Neal versus Rafael dos Anjos. The former champ unfortunately blew out his knee after getting knocked down twice by Jeff Neal. Jeff Neal landing huge shots, bro. It didn't look good anyway. Rafael dos Anjos was going to get knocked out either way. Hands of Steel looked really impressive, dude. I should have taken him on the knockout prop because it was like plus 300 or something. But very impressive win for Jeff Neal. I'm very happy for him. It was a really good win. Exactly what I thought was going to happen, dude. It just looked like he was bigger than RDA by a shitload. He's really big for the division. He's a very, very stocky fighter, very well built into his frame, and he was just able to knock Rafael dos Anjos the fuck out basically right away. He hurt him really bad with a nice combo up close, and Rafael dropped, got back up. He let him back up, dropped him again, and then you saw the leg just like snap, basically. I think it's his knee, and it's unfortunate for Rafael dos Anjos, but at 40 years of age, man, I think that wraps up a good career for him. 32-17. He had a really nice career inside the UFC, and I think it's time to take your time off, man. You've made a lot of money inside the UFC. Hopefully you put it aside. I don't think you need to fight anymore. I think that you can take your leave of absence. You've lost 3 in a row. You've only beaten Brian Barberena in the last fucking 3 years. Well, I guess Renato Moicano too, but that was a close fight. Just unfortunate, man. It sucks, but changing of the guards here, man. The younger kids are taking over. Rafael dos Anjos is old. He's out of here, man. Next on the prelims, we have Ibo Oslin versus Rafael Sequeira. And Ibo Oslin just lands the perfect strikes, man. And Rafael Sequeira is fucking up against the cage, covering up. The ref stops it after he gets dropped. Ibo Oslin lands literally every single strike inside that combo. I'm pretty sure he landed like a 28 punch combo or something. Landed every single strike inside that combination. Took Rafael Sequeira down and took him out. Ibo Oslin was an underdog inside this fight, even though it doesn't say it was. It was before the fight started. Laughable. Absolutely laughable. Rafael Sequeira fucking fought no one. Literally no one. In demo fight. Get the fuck out of here. What a laughable line. It was kind of hilarious to see that they were a pick-me. Ibo Oslin, clearly the bigger fighter. Clearly the guy that deserves to be in this UFC more. And again, he's hunting for all the heads that he can get inside the UFC. It was a fantastic top of the prelim. I'm actually happy they put it up there because I don't think it would have got the love if it was lower on the fight card. We're going to go start on the main card. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to drop a like. We have Shara Bullet Magomedov versus Arman Petosan. Shara Bullet and Arman Petosan, very close first round. Arman Petosan hurts Bullet at one point inside the first 2 minutes. Had him stumbling back. Was putting the pace on a little bit. And then Arman Petosan gets fucking dropped inside the second round with a double back fist after getting pieced up. You could see Shara Bullet getting into his fucking flow state. You could see him starting to mix up the weapons really well, as we all know him for, using everything, using the elbows, using the knees, using the kicks, using the punches, every single place too, legs, body, head, not just hunting one area, trying to mix it up and make Arman continue guessing. Spins one way for a back fist and rotates it and fucking smacks the shit out of him and drops him and KOs him. Walk-off KO for Shara Bullet Magomedov. Absolutely fantastic. Used his range really well. Unfortunately, did get tagged inside those first 2 minutes, showing that he's a little bit vulnerable in the early stages of the fight when he's warming up. But definitely a really good win. It was a really fun striking battle to watch. In the first place, thought he was going to go to the third round, but I did say before the fight started that I think Shar was going to take him out the second round. And I did it. I did get it, luckily. The clappers went and he got that shit, so... I mean, anything could have happened, but I'm very impressed by Shar Bullet. Again, we're not going to see him inside the UFC. He seems to have a problem with getting his visa. Can't get inside the States. Can't fight inside the States. Has to be fighting in Russia or UAE or wherever. Hopefully that changes, because I really want to watch this guy fight more. 185, man. He's one of the most impressive strikers I've ever fucking seen. Like, let's go. I want to see him more. Next on the main card, we have Luron Murphy versus Dan Eay. Really close fight. Thought Dan won. Dan took that first round. Lost the second round to Murphy, who was starting to piece him up. And Dan didn't have a cut. Oh, no, sorry. Dan lost the first... was it the first round? I can't remember. Can't remember if Dan lost the first round or second round, but there was a point where he got a cut on the nose and on the eyebrow. Cutman did a really good job inside the first... after the first round of closing that cut for the second round. Luron Murphy gets dropped, gets really hurt. I couldn't believe what I was watching, honestly. Luron Murphy gets back up. Really durable fighter. Dan Eay kind of punches himself out inside the later stages of the fight. And then inside that third round, it looked like Dan Eay was gassed at the end of the second round. Gassed. Like, he was breathing super heavy. The coaches were like, come on, man. Like, you got more than that. Let's go. Like, he has 5-round experience, and this guy was gassed. He punched himself out trying to chase the Murphy win, and gets to a third round. Super close. I thought Dan Eay edged it. I thought he did enough. He took down Murphy for like 3.5 minutes, had full control, landed a couple nice shots, and then Murphy gets up, lands like 2 nice blows, and they give him the whole round. It's kind of laughable, honestly. But it is what it is. Luron Murphy moves on to 15-0-1. Still showing that he's a dominant force inside the 145 division. Dan Eay shows that he still puts up a good fight. I still think that Dan Eay should have won that fight. Luron Murphy looked a little bit fraud checked there. Looked like he's not as super good as everyone thought he was. Dan Eay being a 4.5-1 or a 4-1 underdog was kind of crazy. I took Dan Eay on the plus 3.5, which was good, seeing as he lost the fight 29-28. But still, I feel like it should have been a split decision. Again, it's not really a fraud check if he's good, but you know what I mean. He's not as good as everyone thinks he is. Excuse me, because Dan Eay having 3 times the odds that Edson Barboza had, that's fucking disgusting. But okay, whatever. Very good win for Luron Murphy. Dan Eay attempted, but it is what it is. We're gonna move on. Next on the main card, we have Magomed Ankalaev versus Alexander Rakic. Rakic took round 2, and the round 3 is what mattered, it seemed. 29-28 is how I had it going, or at the end of the fight for Magomed Ankalaev, landing nice strikes, the bigger jabs in the later stages of the fight. Early on, Rakic took a little bit too much time getting set up. He did outland him in, I believe, every single round, but the bigger strikes were coming off the side of Ankalaev. Was just being able to pressure Rakic against the cage really well. Rakic just kind of just backing up, sidestepping, pedaling, trying to get away from the power shots of Magomed, and it just didn't work. And after 2 rounds, the corner of Rakic tells him that he's up 2. Terrible corner advice. I don't know why you're telling your corner that he's up 2 and just to back away inside that third round. That's fucking stupid, but... man, shit happens. Corners fuck up sometimes, but I thought Rakic was going to get it done. I thought he was going to be able to outpace Ankalaev, especially after that Yuri Prohaska fight. Looked like Rakic was a world beater. Looked like he was going to be able to walk inside of Ankalaev's range and just hit him with good, clean shots. He did inside that second round, a couple times inside that first round, but unfortunately lost the fight inside that third round and lost the fight because of it. Very good job by Ankalaev, though. A couple takedown attempts from Rakic. Tried to mix it up, just didn't get there, and the boxing was a little too much for Rakic. Magomed Ankalaev definitely getting the title shot after this, but he should. I mean, Alex Pereira better be on fucking watch, man, because I don't think it's going to be a takedown fest either. This guy has 31% takedown rate inside light heavyweight. Like, Magomed Ankalaev ain't doing shit. We have the co-main event of the evening. If you guys do enjoy, make sure to drop a like and do subscribe. Hamza Chamay versus Robert the Reaper Whittaker gets choked out inside the first round by neck crank. Hamza does his classic style of just running at you right away, took Robert down. Robert got right back up, got taken down again, tried to get up, got taken down again, got his back taken when he was almost in mount. And then Hamza lands a nice elbow that looks like it rocks Robert for a second, and then Hamza sets up a neck crank, and literally half a second, Rob starts tapping. Dislocated jaw, it seemed like, and the corner confirmed it. They said they believe Robert Whittaker has a dislocated jaw. Really unfortunate. I thought this fight was going to go over 2.5 rounds. I thought I was going to see Robert Whittaker take Khamzat Chimaev to a deep a deep fucking fight where he's going to get exhausted and get knocked out. And just didn't happen. Robert gets taken out early. Khamzat Chamay shows that he is the real deal and shows that I'm wrong and I need to shut the fuck up when it comes to fights. And that I have no idea what I'm talking about because Khamzat just starched the shit out of my boy. I was really sad. And it's unfortunate, man, because he was a really, really good fighter 2 years ago. Robert's still good, man. He's still good, but I just don't think I'm going to see him get another title run. These guys nowadays are just so good, bro. Khamzat Chamay is absolutely insane. He's definitely going to get fast tracked to a title shot at this point. Just beat the number 3 guy in the world in less than 4 minutes, like less than a round on a 5-round fight. That says a lot. It says a lot. Especially seeing that Khamzat's a nice, healthy kid now. Like, fuck, bro. A healthy Chimaev scary as shit. That guy literally starched the hell out of him. Now we're going to move on to the main event of the evening. I think one of the worst moments of my entire life watching fights. One of the biggest bullshit moments of martial arts I've ever watched in my life. Ilia Topuria, after losing the first 2 rounds to Max Holloway, knocks out Max Holloway with a really good combination. Max Holloway gets knocked out for the first time in his entire career and makes me shed a tear on live. El Matador was getting pieced up inside that first round, had his eyes swollen, was getting hit with good clean shots inside that second round. Looked like Max was coming into a flow state, but Max was getting a little bit wild inside that first round, was running at him a little bit wildly, was kind of leaving his hands down. Ilia Topuria capitalized on these mistakes inside the third round and hits him with a shot that stuns Max like I've never seen Max stun before, backs Max up. Like, literally, I've never seen Max stun like that stun. Even getting dropped by Gaethje wasn't that bad. Ilia hit him with what looked like a fucking Ford Escalade at full power, and Max was stunned by it, and he started backing up, and he tried to block everything, and he did a good job, struck back, but Ilia Topuria landed, like, just fucking calculated the shot, man, and took it. I'm really upset, man. I think the next fight for Ilia Topuria is probably going to be Alexander Volkanovski, and if not Diego Lopez. I think Diego Lopez and Alexander Volkanovski should probably have a fight to see who's going to be the #1 title contender. I don't think Topuria needs to do a rematch with Volk at this point. I think showing that he just beat Max with a knockout, beat Alex with a knockout, it's not a fluke. It's literally him. He is him. Ilia Topuria is him. He is a problem inside the 145 division. He will be a problem inside the 145 division. And he might be a problem at 155 if he decides to move up, seeing as he knocked the fuck out of Jai Herbert with that nice-ass left hook. I can't believe it, bro. I actually can't believe it. That's all I got for you guys today. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed. If you guys did, make sure you drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. I will be doing the next predictions and breakdowns for, what's the card? Let's see what the card is. UFC Fight Night, Brandon Moreno versus Amir Albazi, which is coming out to you on November the 2nd, 2024. We will see you guys Tuesday for that. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed the card. I didn't really, but it is what it is. I'll see you guys all later. Peace.